One thing that I think I don't like about the people in this area is the severe overuse of numbers. Every conversation feels so jilted because they just have these crazy amount of calculations like interwoven into everything they say.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so
just say you're busy.
Choose your words with expediency. Oh,
just say you're busy.
Me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you?
How did you know that?
Mathematical predictions always keep us one step ahead. My latest augury noted that a stranger would come bearing an inconvenient message. This is about the exclusion zone, correct?
Talk to me like I'm not from around here.
Fair enough. The exclusion zone is a mere corner of Matriarch's mercy, and rightfully off limits. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril.
Okay, so basically that little area that they're in is calculated or predicted to have some sort of issue in the future. And there was big like hills behind it, so maybe they have an idea there's going to be like an avalanche or something. I mean, just ready to accept responsibility for our actions.
Tell me, which of us has the title of administrant before their name? The responsibility is mine, as are the consequences. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold.
Yeah, but where would I even start?
The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started?
Yeah, what can you tell me about the voice?
I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that.
You said I was foretold? How does that work?
Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here.
So if I learn about everyone's concern, I'll earn enough trust to resolve this dispute.
According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
Okay. We've already kind of been talking to everybody, and I don't feel like we've really learned that much. I'll be back with you, Dr. Beardsley. Just after I lock this door for no reason. Definitely not trying to steal anything. So careful when trying to steal stuff like this because your companions just randomly open the door. Alright, Doc, what's up?
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help.
You want my help, but you don't even know me?
True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah, let's start with the question. What do you think of the conditions here?
As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out.
Anything I can do to assist with that?
Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lamping. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all.
And you desperately need my help with something else?
You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. A dashing outsider standing before me.
The Order devised an equation that calculates the unknowable. How is that even possible?
Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp.
Tell me more.
Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Very well.
My
I'll do it.
thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks.
Before I do that, I had another thing.
How can I be of service? Since you
What
are
do you
a
have to
refugee,
sell?
I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair.
450 health over a period of time. It's lower than what my other ones are, but maybe it's lower toxicity. Can't afford to buy it anyway. Oh wow. So this one would give like we can craft this one. It gives a big heal. But it still applies toxicity. However, on top of that, it also would then reduce your maximum amount of toxicity that you can gain as well. Okay, for trauma kits. Let's leave it that for now.
You're right. Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct?
Sure, how do you do it?
We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths.
See, that's the thing that kind of makes a lot more sense in this, isn't it? They come up with these sort of, oh, this is what your future's going to be. But then really what they're doing is they're sending that out to everyone. So everyone then kind of goes about doing what they think they need to do because that's what the future kind of tells them to do. But really, what's happening is they're kind of driving people to then fulfill the future that they predicted. It's kind of like what do you call it? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think it commonly, sort of more commonly gets known as.
More what to watch out for. Advisement on adhering to the plan. Forecasts of probabilistic dangers. Elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense.
Do unforeseen factors get in the way of your predictions?
Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you definitely follow. This is a predictory. I expected more than a desk.
True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means.
Alright, well, can you tell me anything about the situation here?
Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area.
Just can't understand why I'm not seeing them here in droves.
I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly.
Oh, yeah. Spoke to him already. So there's one person here that will swear by the Order's predictive methods.
One of our recent guests, Rolo Nast, has received multiple personalized Order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well.
I think that answers everything.
Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell.
Please select from the following options. Call lift. Okay, we would need a code from somewhere to call the lift.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
Wow, number 4 is harsh. Start using smaller words, I'm going to start using bullets? Why? What? Why would you just walk in here and say that? No time for that. Ruth said we could help one another out.
Yes, the presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, due to our need for compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge?
I want to speak to Victor Clemens.
Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Well, why are both options? Like, who tell this guy what we think is going on? What if this guy's in on it? Now all we're going to do is give this guy a heads up. Let's go with number 1. I'm not sure, but it seems likely he's involved.
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse.
I think we'll go with number 1 here. It's possible he's been manipulated into believing his actions serve the plan.
Good intentions have led scienticians in the past to stray down paths most troubling. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest. the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
Well, can you be more specific about why?
Besides the highly caustic Zeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
I'm sorry, mad cultists?
Rift worshippers.
I really want to
Can
avoid
inane
just straight up saying
theories.
Victor's a bad guy,
They
because
began
I
showing
don't
up
know
prior
yet.
to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it? Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation.
Yeah, okay. Glad we're on the same page. How can I return the favor and help you?
No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate?
Current tensions, and here I thought we were getting along so well.
Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. I knew I could rely upon
I don't.
you.
Again, I don't want to
Ruth wouldn't
accuse
have sent
anybody of
you
anything.
otherwise.
This will be
Here,
remembered
take
against
this writ
he
of investigative
possibly
inquiry.
another
It'll
follower.
grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile.
He seems fairly high
We can
ranked.
compare notes once you've returned with your
group of
findings.
essentially misfits. I've got a few more
Illuminating
questions.
the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
What's the story of the giant statue?
That
I'm not
is a
going to ask
statue
about
of the
everything else. You kind of
matriarch,
already know what all that is, right?
Alexandra Varick, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Definitely something up with this Wiley guy. Don't trust him.
Have you beheld that new rifle up at the monastery? The orc?
If we must break our backs for the Order, I prefer to start at the manufactory. I admit to some minor curiosity as to what transpires there.
Look on the bright.
Oh, Administrant Agarwal. Here to finally hash this out, are you? Thought this day would never come.
Yes, well, our esteemed outsider here has agreed to thoroughly appraise our situation, in the hope that we may finally close the book on the exclusion zone once and for all.
They say you asked around. Listen to folks. That's a good start, at least.
Yeah, remind me again what the actual argument's about.
The seer predicted imminent danger to the exclusion zone. In the interest of safety, the displaced must leave.
Well, the displaced are the ones taking that risk, on the grounds the predictions can be false.
The displaced are under the Order's care, and the Order should decide what is best for them. Hence why we need the help of an outsider. Mediator, I leave the fate of the exclusion zone in your capable hands.
So, everything we've seen so far, despite not liking that these guys talking too much maths and numbers for my brain to be able to work out, is that basically all the predictions have been right. They were, I mean, take, for example, they predicted that my ship would be in that one port at that exact moment and I would be there. Like, they knew that. And they predicted things here that would make sense. And the guy, although there's a certain element, like I've said before, if, you know, these guys send you a letter, says, oh, make sure to wear a hard hat today because there might be an accident. You wear a hard hat and then maybe you become more careless and cause an accident. It's not necessarily telling the truth. It's creating a prophecy that you self-fulfill. They're still, in essence, guessing a lot of stuff pretty right. So I think for me, like, I'm in a conversation like this, I'm definitely more leaning towards taking their side rather than trying to help the displaced stay where they are. So I'd like to discuss what I found out about the Order's side.
Speak on then.
Bruno Nass taught me a bit, and their useful.
Did he also happen to mention they were needlessly oblique and vague?
Seemed convinced that they should be followed.
Quite right. Rollo's co-occupant might have also supported our warnings, had he heeded them.
I don't know. You ask me? When it comes to these Order predictions, there's a lot of room between a probable and definite outcome.
Professor Plotnik informed me about Order efforts.
You actually got the Provisioner to give you the time of day. Huh.
Ah, yes. I sometimes forget Provisioner Plotnik is also assigned to minding the displaced's needs. Her role is largely proactive, while mine is reactive.
Seems committed to ensuring the displaced want for nothing.
Fair enough. The Order does keep us refugees fed and plenty, medicated. To give credit, as I do with blame, where it's due.
Yep, and then there's Vicar Orendy.
You mean that missionary type who's always talking at everybody instead of to them?
She does mean well, I think.
Mathematics is the hidden language of the universe which unites us all. The closer we come to understanding it, the closer we come to true understanding.
I haven't heard that much sugarcoating outside of an anti-suppository ad. But fine.
Right.
Whatever you say.
Let's talk about the place in their perspective.
I'm all ears, Mediator.
Spoke to the camp doctor.
I understand he is rather short-handed.
Yeah. Someone should get right on that, huh? Anyhow, what was the good doctor's diagnosis?
Oh, I can't even remember what he needed. Let's go with 3 though, because this is true. There are people living in South. He did say that. I think he did say that.
Out more, but only if we utilize the exclusion zone.
That is indeed unfortunate, but the dangers predicted for the exclusion zone
Surely we
may
could
outweigh
like
these
build
concerns.
a shelter, like something that would keep them safe. You heard about the business with sub-Rose altercations?
The what now?
When grievances between the displaced approach fisticuffs, we hire sub-Rosa hooligans to duke things out for us.
That is unquantifiably absurd, and I don't see how moving into the exclusion zone will help.
Yeah, overcrowding leads to frustration, and then that amplifies.
Unproductive is one thing. Paid Donnybrooks with surrogate fighters is... well, I'm at a loss for an applicative metaphor to describe it.
And I found evidence of a collapsed structure.
Collapsed? But we built Matriarch's Mercy to optimize comfort and safety.
I'm guessing you're saying this wasn't an official structure. More of a hastily assembled, precariously built shanty.
I do, yeah, refugees shouldn't be building in these conditions.
People are struggling to make do with what they have.
I just...
If we had the exclusion zone, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm aghast these structures
I
weren't built
kind of wish there
following
was a way to
established
just
order
get them to work
construction
together to come up
guidelines.
with like a new
By my
method.
calculations, you've explored this topic from every conceivable angle. Admirable work, Mediator. What is your decision?
So either rule for the displaced, which means that basically they live in the exclusion zone, which could lead them to get hurt a lot. I could rule for the order, which means that the displaced don't have the risk of being hurt in the exclusion zone, but overcrowding could end up making everybody sick or worse. I could just completely step out of making any decision, which, although that's more like what my character would do and is probably what I'm going to choose, it's not necessarily what I would do, because what I want to do is I actually want to side for the order. But I think our character would go at number 3.
Are we to have a stalemate for the rest of our days? This cannot be what the prediction foretold.
You sure about this? I mean, talk about wasted effort on your part.
I don't want to say it's a joke either. It's not a joke. It's actually quite serious. Screw it. Let's go with the order. That's what I wanted to do.
Very well, administrant. You win. I'll honor the terms of the mediation. Let's hope your math was right.
Have faith. Or, if not faith, reason. We can still work together to improve conditions around Matriarch's mercy. Your reward, mediator, with my thanks. I now consider the matter decisively closed.
Nice. So everybody should now leave that little area.